Sunday, June 24th, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the People's Radio CAM1 Radio 99.5 FM is the frequency, and this is the news. First of all, our headlines. Turmoil in the chief town of the Northwest region, Bamenda, following the looting and burning of taxis by thugs and alleged separatist fighters. A dire situation which has sparked outrage and outbursts by taxi drivers, promising to smoke anyone who will be caught in this unscrupulous act. Furthermore, it is said that the mayor of Bamenda City Council is holding all the cards, spearheading the taxi drivers' protest in that part of the country. Meantime, still in the Northwest region, several cattle were found dead in Bosa, a locality in Balinyonga in that part of the country. The cause of the mass deaths has still been not identified, as other sources also talk of a thunderstorm or thunderbolt in that part of the country. And at least 1,300 people have also died during the Hajj, the Saudi government says in a statement which has been released to us here on CAM1 Radio. These are our headlines today on the news. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the news on CAM1 Radio. I am Comrade Charles Banner, your presenter. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, the UNHCR, has celebrated the resilience of refugees in Cameroon with thrilling advocacy concert. The advocacy concert took place last week in Yaoundé. It was attended by some refugees residing in the country, representatives of members of government and the members of diplomatic missions accredited to Cameroon in that part of the country. Meantime, the World Bank has approved a significant funding totaling 30 billion francs CFA to transform major roads in the city of Bamenda, which are currently in a deplorable state. The good news was announced by the Minister of Public Works, Emmanuel Nganu Jimesi. This was via a statement which has been making the rounds on social media. And also, members of the project dubbed co-creation of innovative management of forest resources, combining ecological methods and indigenous knowledge known as Comeka, have met in Yaoundé to evaluate its implementation for the last 6 years. A non-governmental organization known as Reconciliation and Development Association, RADA, with headquarters in Bamenda, has trained and equipped some 50 young peace advocates from the 7 divisions of the Northwest region on engaging peace initiatives at the level of their communities. The training is part of efforts to end the over 7-year-long separatist armed conflict in the 2 English-speaking regions of the country. Meantime, a group of young women under the banner of bona fide ladies of substance have donated some basic healthcare necessities to sickle cell patients at the Lakentini Hospital in Douala. The gesture, which was carried out in prelude to the commemoration of the World Sickle Awareness Day, has been greatly commended by medical officials in charge of the Specialized Sickle Cell Center in the Lakentini in Douala. The President General of the Elite Association in Gute, dubbed Elati Bebum Eyeni Nelson Mbu, is no more. The internationally acclaimed diplomat died in a health facility in Limbe after suffering from a heart attack this past Tuesday, June 22, 18th. Eyenimbu Nelson dies in Limbe. A sad and tragic story. Meantime, we talk something completely different on to one of our major lead stories. Several cattle were found dead at Boza, a locality in Balinyonga in the Northwest region. The cause of the mass death has still not yet been identified. Some sources talk of a thunderbolt, which is as a result of the phenomenon which killed some of these cattle. Now, the public authorities in the Northwest region have been called upon to take responsibility and protect the health and safety of the population there in the Northwest region. Meantime, on to one of our pages here, which has to human interest stories. A thief broke into a kiddie store in Yaoundé, Chapel Semeyong, over the weekend, stealing cash and the merchandise valued between 800,000 to 1 million francs CFA. The burglary occurred overnight from Friday to Saturday, leaving the store's owners, a young lady, deeply distraught. The owner was so distraught that she is devastated over the incident. She's pleading on anyone who knows or sees the thief anywhere to report to the nearest police station or alert her personally. Now, following the ordinance of Thursday signed by President Paul Biya modifying the 2024 Finance Law of 19 December 2023, this is how much people don't know about this particular law. The stamp on the ID card will now cost 10,000 francs CFA instead of 2,800 francs CFA. Certified copy of birth certificates now will cost 2,000 francs CFA. Certified copy of nationality will cost 3,500 francs CFA now, and a picture will cost 1,800 francs. So the total for doing an ID card or issuing an ID card now will cost 17,300 francs CFA in Cameroon. Residents of Dokoti were left speechless after witnessing a bizarre scene involving a hearse driver and a coffin. According to our sources here in Cameroon, the driver allegedly abandoned the coffin near a filling station due to a payment disagreement with the deceased family. Reports suggest the issue stemmed from an unpaid balance, prompting the driver to take this drastic step. Thankfully, police intervened and were able to reach the family. Upon reaching an agreement, the family settled the balance and the coffin was later on retrieved. We talk something different now. Tita, Hissint, and over 2 dozens of Bamenda residents have been in gendarme custody for about 2 weeks now. They were arrested for violating curfew against bikes imposed by Mezam administration. Now, Tita, who sells meat at St. Paul Junction, was arrested on his way back from his business side and is presently at the gendarmerie at Tabesi in the northwest region. Meantime, Doctors Without Borders has announced it is negotiating with the Cameroon government to possibly resume its operations in the country. That is what Doctors Without Borders has in store for us, and find out what the governor of the northwest region said that led to their suspension. As Samuel Eto'o, a retired football player of Cameroon, was recently recognized for his sportsmanship as he was included in the prestigious International Fair Play Narini Prize winners list for the 28th time this year. That's something which the mayor of the city of Douala is doing his best to also save Cameroon's population, as he urges Cameroonians to go massively to the Japoma Stadium for freely support the athletes of the ongoing African athletics competition. And just to note that fire has gutted out a church headquarters in Lagos, not forgetting that Joseph Fuda, a special advisor to President Paul Biya, is facing threats after the arrest of Parfait Mbapu, accused of various scams totaling hundreds of millions. Mbapu's mother demands Fuda secure her son's release, threatening supernatural interventions. We talk politics now. The Popular Action Party, known as the PAP, has resolved that they will back an opposition coalition, but only if it is headed by an Anglophone in the 2025 presidential elections. And just to know that the breaking news which came out during the weekend is that the African Cup of Nations 2025 will begin on December 21st, 2025, and end on January 18th, 2026. That is what has been said about the African Cup of Nations. On to our international page now, 13 people have been arrested following a forest fire on the Greek island of Hydra, and China's military could isolate Taiwan, cripple its economy, and make the democratic islands succumb to the will of Beijing's rule Communist Party without ever firing a shot, as a prominent think tank warns. Now, the official death toll from the Hajj pilgrimage has soared to almost 500, but it is feared that the true toll could be much higher as worshippers endured extreme heat along the route to Mecca. A woman in Texas is charged with attempted capital murder and injury to a child after trying to drown a 3-year-old child in a possible hate crime incident. At least 9 people have been killed and 25 injured in what appears to be coordinated attacks by gunmen in Russia's Dagestan province, as local authorities have said. And at least 5 people were killed and over 100 injured when missile fragments scattered over beachgoers during a Ukrainian strike on the city of Sevastopol in Russia. And Russia-occupied Crimea authorities have said this loud and clear. Scientists have found microplastics in human penises for the first time as concerns over the tiny particles proliferation and the potential health effects. Meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says intense phase of war with Hamas in Gaza is about to end and military focus could shift to Israel's border with Lebanon. Climate protesters ran onto the 18th green in the final round of the PGA Tour's Travelers Championship in Connecticut on Sunday, leaving a powdery substance on the putting surface and delaying play for several minutes. It is also said that Germany got a stoppage time goal against Switzerland on Sunday to salvage a 1-1 draw and finish top of Group A at Euro 2024, with both teams securing qualifications to the next round of the tournament. And just to reiterate that all eyes and ears are on Lagos, Nigeria, as Africa's music icon Davido prepares to tie the knot with Choma Roland. The pair, who have twins together, will celebrate their traditional wedding on Tuesday, June 25th, which is tomorrow. And this is where we draw a curtain to this edition of the news on CAM1 Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your keen attention and keep on listening to more programs on this network. I reiterate, the frequency is 99.5 FM, and this is the People's Radio. For presentation, I was Ekome Charles Abane.